can make it or can watch the video. So welcome. Here we are in late November. I cannot believe this. But we've done, we started this leadership meetup for about since August 3rd. And we've done this each month, twice a month, every first and third Thursdays, with the exception of this month. We had to postpone from last week. So thanks for coming and joining us and spending some time with us on such an important topic, which is leadership in our baseball organizations. Today, I kind of wanted to launch a couple things here, to launch a reset of what we've gone over regarding organization-wide curriculum and resources. So kind of hitting a reset just to kind of make sure that we're all on the same page. And I also wanted to kind of launch I think everybody and their neighbors are launching some sort of Black Friday deal, but I wanted to make sure that everybody who's participated in the Leadership Meetup has a chance to bring a pretty good deal to their organization for our organization pro membership. So we'll be offering 20% off promo code for our organization pro membership. So all administrators, all coaches, all parents will have access to our pro membership, and that's will be 20% off. If you are interested in that, please email me at tom@coachbaseballright.com. I'll be sending the promo code out to the list as well, but we'll talk more about what's involved with the pro membership here in a bit. But I wanted to ask Scott and Jesse specifically here, what are your organizational wide resources or curriculum that you guys use? What are the things that you guys have access to, that you guys can send parents, to send families, to send coaches, anything at all? Like, Steve and I are constantly asking the question, how can we improve? What do you guys have to offer your families and coaches?
Well, Tom, for us, the organization really kind of leaves it up to the coaches, which is frustrating to me because Steve and I have had conversation back. It was actually I think early last spring, and when we had discussed doing an organization-wide program that all the coaches could dive into, regardless of their background, regardless of their expertise. They would have these resources that they could grab from. And the league had, they really just kind of took the stance that they felt that the coaches, should handle that and have ownership. But again, the problem is there's too many coaches that step up and volunteer that don't have much of a background in baseball. And so, first off, they don't really have much to bring to the table, and then they really don't know where to even start to look. And even when they do come across stuff through a web search, I think they have a little bit of a hard time discerning what is good information and what is not so good information. So again, I find that frustrating because I think that like what Coach Baseball Right offers is a one-stop shop for coaches of all levels. And again, it's just it's frustrating that the organization just put it in the hands of the coaches.
Jesse, what do you guys have?
Same thing. It's kind of up to the coaches. They do their own things. We have winter workout program / spring training where we try to get the coaches in and build them up to kind of what we expect and what a lot of us do. But overall, it's just up to the coaches to do their own.
So, hey guys, what would it take for whether it's, let's just take coach baseball right out of it, because I want to approach it from a more generic point of view. What does it take to get an organization to move, to try to benefit, to try to better their organization and provide a better experience for their coaches, parents, and players? What is it that needs to happen for them to say, yes, this is something we can do to improve ourselves?
The $1 million question, right? I mean, it's I don't know if leagues are scared that if because a lot of times they're always short coaches, right? And so they're always asking for people to step in and volunteer, and I don't know. I wonder if it's just because they don't want to put too much on people that they're asking to volunteer. They're not wanting to ask for any additional commitment, which that's the only thing I can come up with. I don't know if that's the case or not, but I think they're just or maybe too many people just don't commit, period. If they offer something, enough people don't commit to being involved.
And I wonder how many people might get involved that aren't, if they knew that there was a rope to, that was going to be thrown their way. There's always two ways to look at it. I mean, I'm even thinking about, hey, how do you zoom right into a board meeting and articulate because you only really have about 90 seconds to get their attention, because they've got 4 or 5 other agenda items they want to get to. And how do you market a program that you don't even know if you need? Well, I should say they definitely need it, but they don't know they need it. It's really been interesting. Tom and I, we've worked hard trying to figure this out. And, sometimes when we get a chance to actually talk to an organization, like zoom into the board or meet them in person, we don't have much of a problem, I don't think. But it's just getting people who run an organization, who are busy, to really take the time to try to improve the organization, instead of just doing what they need to do to get home by 9 and to do the same thing again until next meeting.
Hey, Steve, I want to, sorry to interrupt. I just want to, could you reset for Matthew? Matthew, welcome to our leadership meetup. And Jesse, I want to also hear kind of your perspective in your organization as well. Steve, would you mind kind of resetting the question for Matthew and Jesse?
Yeah, Matt, the question that I posed for all of you guys was, what would it take to get an organization to move, to begin to supply the resources, coaching, educational resources that they need to supply to their organizations? I don't know if I lost Matthew or not. Looks like I lost you too, Tom, or you're muted.
No, yeah, I'm here. Sorry. Yeah, it looks like we lost him. Jesse, did you want to?
Well, I think we just, like on our organization, we just elected kind of added to our board, created a bunch more positions, and it's kind of an exciting time. I think we got a lot of people that are new to the board, fresh to it, so their motivation is high and they're excited about it. So that has been coaches training has been one of the hot topics in our meetings that we've had. So I think our board we understand that's a weakness with us, and I think we're looking how we can do it. So we're looking at hiring local coaches to come in and do some coaches trainings like we've done in the past, but a little more in depth. So just kind of getting all the board members willing to spend money on that. That's not equipment and fields and right to the kids. So
Yeah, so I do think that guys that are, and I don't know how old you guys are. I know that I'm the oldest guy in the meeting. I know that, but I see guys that are Tom's age, and I'm assuming you three fellows are all roughly that age. And I see younger people seem to be more willing. They're more educated about what they don't know and about the resources that are out there than guys that are my age that have been doing it for 25 years and really just probably are winding down in their careers and their volunteer work and don't have an interest to really improve it. But I always like to think that people, if you take a job, you want to leave the organization better than when you found it. I like to think that the organization should provide the resources, not only the baseball wide resources, but the other more important resources for their coaches as well. How to talk to parents, how to set high expectations for your kids, to empower them to make sure that they can help kids learn through successes and failures. So, I applaud all you young guys who are, kind of on that boat, so to speak. But I can tell you that most of the organizations that I run across, they're not there. They don't know what they need and don't seem to be that interested in really improving the organizations that they're a part of.
Well, and to that point too, Steve, what makes it even more sad is the fact that there are more resources at the tip of our fingers than there's ever been before.
Right.
I mean, there's Zoom meetings, there's all sorts of free resources out there, and you don't have to look real hard. Yet, again, for whatever reason, the leagues and organizations don't want to engage those resources for some reason.
Yeah, and again, Jess, you're kind of new to. I guess this is your first meeting with us, but my classic example is how we introduce the kids to baseball and softball, and we've been doing the same old silly thing in most parts of the country with one ball and 24 kids for 40 years. And everybody knows it's bad, but nobody wants to take the time to change it. And here we are, Coach Baseball Right. We think we have one of the best programs out there to engage kids. And that's sort of like our hook to get organizations involved. And to be honest with you, I don't know if the organizations care enough about how they introduce the game to the kids. My grandson played on a team and I went to watch, and hey, the parents show up, they buy their beer, they root for their kids, they have an 8-week schedule. It's over and most of the kids don't want to come back and play anymore. They learn very little, but you know what? The organization, they got their money, they got their beer money, and next year there'll be another group of kids that will go through the same program and we'll do it again. And we'll probably lose a third of those kids because soccer's got a better way to introduce it to them, or hockey or what have you. And it's really sad. It's really sad to see.
Well, let me jump in here. I kind of want to. I'm hearing a couple of things from you guys. One, the one spot, for free resources, right, and another spot for kind of a collective curriculum. I'm going to kind of, Steve and Scott and Jess, please stop me if this is too much, or if you guys want to dive deep on one of this. I just want to show you guys a couple of things here. We have at Coach Baseball Right, we have a free account for administrators, coaches, and families. The free account has, and we've gone over a couple of these resources for the administrator. Most of these guides and resources we have free. So if you sign up for a free administrator account, you guys get a lot of these things just because you can access and log in. Here is the Leadership Meetup archives, and Jess, you're new here, but these are all the recordings from the Zoom meetings we've had in the past. In our practice, or in our coach and family member account, free member account, we've got a bunch of free, like, you know, a hitting basics guide for youth development. We recommend administrators of leagues to pass this out across the board to get every coach teaching the same principles of hitting. Same thing with pitching basics. So Jess, this could be a great way, just a common resource that across the organization. And this is all for free, right? So we've got a bunch of stuff here in our free account. In our organizational pro account or pro membership, right? So the paid membership, administrators, coaches, and families have access to all those resources, plus the practice drills in progressive nature. And then we also have practice templates that are built off of progressive, and scaffolded nature. So practice 1 is more basic than, say, practice 10. These are all designed to improve across the board the organizational experience for the players, for the families, for the coaches, and then ultimately the board members or the administrators.
Hey, Tom, can you
please.
mention, and we don't have to go into a lot of depth, but I was really proud of the baseball part of this, guys. But to be honest with you, what I've come to really appreciate is our guides on how does a coach set up? How does he get going? What's that parent letter look like? And Tom, can you just show a couple of those things for just a second?
Sure. So we've got the free parent letter, right? The template. So kind of a preseason thing here. It's going to join us here in just a second. Here we go. Okay, here we go. So we've gone ahead and just try to make this as simple as possible. Steve and Scott, Jess, can you guys see that okay?
Yeah.
So again, just trying to focus in on ease for every coach. We understand that coaches, like Scott said earlier, don't need another obligation or don't need another thing to do. So we're trying to get that as easy as possible. We've got some team defense tutorials. And Steve, here's what Steve mentioned, the Start Baseball Right, kind of a youth baseball T-balls template. Steve,
there's a hitting instructor checklist there, if for parents to go out and when they're looking for what good hitting instruction would be. And Tom, those coaching guides, how a coach actually gets going.
Oh, the coach guide. Yeah. So in our paid membership here, we actually have kind of like our introduction, our coach's guide to a winning season. So what could, a deeper dive, what can a coach do in the preseason? So preseason essentials, and then also in season. So if we go to preseason coaching essentials, here are some step-by-step things that both administrators and coaches can work through together to kind of help set out a very successful season. So one of the things that we are big on in teaching in this leadership meetup is having high expectations, and what are those expectations? So right here in this module, these are the expectations that we encourage administrators and coaches to abide by. Number 1, expecting more out of your players. Importance of, so we've got a nice little video. The next module would be importance of a good baseball practice. So again, it's kind of the training tools to help get everybody on the same page. Steve, is that what what we're looking for?
Absolutely. And part of that coaching guide is like sitting down and getting your assistant coaches, what do you have to do? I mean, do I get the best player's dad to be with me? Probably not. Although it's a human thing. Probably there's another process that you can do as far as getting your assistant coaches. And, I'm really proud of the non-baseball part of this, to be honest with you, that has seemed to develop for us in the last, I guess, 2 or 3 years. Tommy, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say one of the guides that we give to board members and leaders of organizations is just kind of how do you recruit coaches. One of the biggest things that we hear from feedback from leaders is twisting arms, trying to get people to help out. So we've tried to, again, put together a guide for administrators, for the board to work from as kind of common practice of how to recruit. So anyway, that's kind of that. Steve, yeah, sorry, Steve.
No, I was just going to say, and guys, we don't have it yet, but we are working on something now with a major league umpire, trying to provide resources for the organization on just simple 2-man mechanics. And, I think simple but good training of umpires is sort of an important thing. And we're going to be working on that, coming out with that in the next 12 months. So I'm really looking forward to that and adding it to the other things that we provide for the organizations to, so they can give a better experience to everyone involved.
So like I said, Black Friday kind of sale, we'll be offering individual pro memberships. So for coaches and for families, we'll offer those at 50%. So 50% off. Individual pro memberships. For the organizational membership, which would include pro memberships for everyone, we're offering it at 20%. You guys will receive an email, but you're more than welcome to email me at tom@coachbaseballright.com to get those information and that promo code. But Jess, Scott, do you guys have any questions? We're closing in on the 30 minutes. I want to be respectful of your time here.
No,
I just have
I
a
don't
quick
have
comment.
anything.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm good. Go ahead.
Well, I just had a quick comment. Just one of the things that I find very appealing is how user-friendly Coach Baseball Right site is, and that's definitely a feather in your cap compared to other sites out there that just they're not as easy to navigate and like I said, is user-friendly. So
Thanks,
good.
Scott.
Well, thank you.
And Jess, if you want a deeper dive on that too, I know you guys are kind of growing and kind of doing some cool things with your organization. Let me know, and I'd be happy to share a username and password to kind of give you, some time on your own to kind of, get into the muck a little bit, you know what I mean? And let me know, and whatever we can do to help, paid, unpaid, whatever, Steve and I are here for you.
I appreciate that. I'm definitely going to go back and do some more looking at some of the other videos on the website a little more.
Great.
Good. And like Tom said, if you have anything you want to ask, all you got to do is text us or call us or email us, and we're pretty good about making sure we get back to everybody.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, I'm good on my end, but I want to wish you both and Steve, you as well, a happy Thanksgiving. Steve, do you have anything to close out, or?
No, I just say thanks for taking the time to visit this evening and enjoy your time with your family. And I hope you have a wonderful and safe Thanksgiving.
thank you guys as well. Happy Thanksgiving.
All right. Thanks, Scott.
Thanks, guys. Have a great evening now. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jess. Bye-bye.
Bye, Jesse.